Hi, I'm Liv. I am the owner of a Thrifty Notion. We are a little secondhand fabric store selling dead stock, de-stash, vintage fabrics so you can shop more thoughtfully and more sustainably for your sewing needs. This is our August featured fabric collection. In August, we kind of like to take it back to the Homestead. It's a little bit workwear inspired, but also just kind of blues and grays are my jam. They're my favorite. So this is maybe my favorite collection of the year, just because I like blues and grays. It's a little bit boring, but I talked to a designer here in town. She is very retired now, but she actually has provided quite a few of our very cool vintage fabrics here at a Thrifty Notion. Her name is Charlotte. She swore that people's favorite colors were very much based on their eye color, and she thought it was because we could see those colors best. It might also be that those colors look best on us. I don't know, but blue-gray kind of matches my eyes. Anyway, there's the ramble to kick things off. Let's get started with the fabrics. I'm going to jump in with the linen because I'm afraid they're going to fall down. So I have 4 linens. They are all pretty much the same weight, and they're all going to be pretty much good for the same things. So these are all medium weight linens. They're all fairly fluid, and the 3 in my hand are all solids. So we have Prairie Schooner is the light one. Then we have Windswept, which has just a little touch of teal to it. And then Quiet Night, which is very, very dark, deep navy. I will unroll the Quiet Night, but these guys, they're gonna do all the same things. So you can see it's just a kind of a medium weight linen with a nice drape. Would be excellent for blouses, dresses, loose fitting trousers, and shorts. All the good things. Very summery and wonderful. This last linen is called Rumbling Thunder, and it's kind of a tie-dye, not quite tie-dye, but definitely has a hand-dyed vibe to it. I don't know if it was hand-dyed. It may have come from the factory this way. It is a de-stash fabric. We got this amazing stash of natural fiber fabrics that we are only just beginning to dig through. So more to come on the linens and rayons and lovely floaty things, but this one's called Rumbling Thunder. Okay, we have just one little piece of silk. It's called Thunderheads. We have a lot of sky out here on the prairie. Apparently we've got a lot of aviation history going on here. Like Amelia Earhart is from Kansas, and we've had several astronauts. We just have a lot of sky, so people look at the sky a lot. It is kind of amazing for sunrises and sunsets, though. Gotta say, we have some pretty good ones. All right, so this is called Thunderheads. It's a silk. I don't remember which type of silk. It will be in the slide, but just very fluid drape, very thin, but not super, super see-through. So nice for blouses. You could do a full dress out of this. It would be very light and airy. I'm a little lost. Where to go next? This is all the cotton. I'm gonna save that for a minute. Let's do the rayons and blends. I do not know off the top of my head what the fiber content of this one is, but I'm like pretty sure it has rayon in it. The little slide to the side, wherever Kelly decides to put the slide, will tell you what's in it. But see this drape? This is a very fluid drape that goes with rayon. So this is a suiting. It's a herringbone weave in this really pretty blue and like, I don't know, light teal weave. Just wide leg trousers, you can make a jacket out of it. You would probably need to use some interfacing to get the structure since it is so fluid if you want to make a jacket, unless you want to do something that's a little bit more like a cardigan sort of jacket, like loose fitting. That would also work from this. This one's called Tilled. Up next, these are just light and floaty for summer dresses and beach wraps and swim cover-ups and all that kind of stuff. So this one definitely has a beachy vibe. This one's called Fresh Air. Just floaty and fluid. We love rayon for summer. This one's called Cloudscape, and it's kind of a light blue plaid. Dresses and skirts, maybe like a wide leg flowy trouser. type situation, but nice cool things. This one's called Well Water, and it is sort of a medium weight. It's a little bit heavier than your usual like floaty dress rayon. So this one you could do something more like a shirt dress that has a little bit more structure to it. Again, something like a wide leg trouser would also work out of this one. It's just a little bit heavier than the crinkle ones I just showed you and more opaque. That one's Well Water, great for basics. This is called Polyculture, and it's a jacquard rayon, which means that this kind of leaf motif that's woven in, it's not printed on. So that design on there is coming from the texture of the weave. Again, really fluid drape on this rayon. All the same stuff I've been saying about the previous rayons works for this one. Okay, this one's called Sudden Squall, which is just a big angry storm. We do get those here. This is kind of a sand-washed rayon. It's kind of got this crinkle texture and little bits that look faded, but it's really just the way the light is hitting it. It is a twill weave, so I don't know. It gives it just a slightly different texture. Again, super fluid drape and good for all the same things I talked about for the previous rayons. You can see that we have just a very solid blue kind of thing going on this month. You're going to get a lot of amazing basics out of these fabrics. They may not be like super exciting to look at, but these are your wardrobe workhorses, so don't sleep on these. All right, speaking of wardrobe workhorses, let's get to the cottons. This is stretch denim, so it is a blend. It's called Blue Stem. Blue Stem is a kind of prairie grass. Lots of things in this area have that name. Like businesses use that name because it's a good little name. And it's one of the most common prairie grasses we have in our area. So this is a very light denim, you can see. Great for shorts. It's not going to make the most durable jeans. So you might want to use it for things like dresses or even like denim shirts. It is just a lighter weight. It would also be amazing for kids' pants because of the stretch. Kiddos don't tend to like jeans because they're stiff. I mean, a lot of adults don't like jeans for that reason too, but this might be good for some little ones to make some stretchy pants. This one's called Tatting, and it is a printed stretch denim, and this one is stiff and much more sturdy than the previous one. Some of this stiffness just comes from this print that's on here, and I think it's going to wash out. It's going to loosen up. So slightly heavier weight, again, excellent for making jeans or slacks or shorts. This is called Free Range, and it is ticking. Ticking was a tightly woven cotton that was traditionally used for things like feather pillows or mattresses. That tight cotton weave was supposed to hold those feathers in. If you've ever had an old feather pillow with ticking, you'll know that the feathers still kind of poke through sometimes. But it also just has kind of an old-timey rustic country vibe to it. I just like it. It's nice for quilting. It's nice for home dec. It's also nice for things like shorts or skirts. It's just cute, nice and stripy. This one's called Overalls, but it's not good for making overalls because it's a chambray. So chambray it's a yarn dyed fabric, which means the color comes from the yarn already being dyed before it's woven. So it has white going in one direction and blue going in the other direction. And that makes, even though it's like a dark blue thread going up and down, it comes out light blue because the colors blend together. Anyway, chambray is very commonly used for like dress shirts, like business attire sort of shirts. It's also great for just, it looks like a denim shirt. A lot of times people will call a chambray shirt a denim shirt. Whew. All right, I'm in teacher mode. Lots of blathering on about the history of fabrics. Anyway, chambray, great for making shirts. Also nice in quilts and things like that. This one's cute. This is called Cabin Kitchen. It's a clip dot or Swiss dot shirting. So it's just a lightweight woven cotton, and these little dots are woven in, and so on the back side there's little clipped threads because when it was woven there was thread that went all the way across, but it gets really snaggy when you're trying to put your shirt on, so they clip those extra pieces of thread that were hanging on the back side, and it makes these little fluffies on the back. So some people like to wear it with the fluffies out, and the intended design is this kind of dashed design on the front of the fabric. So again, great for shirts or like floaty sundresses. This one's called Harvester, and it's another jacquard. We say it's a cotton shirting, but I kind of suspect there's a little bit of rayon in here too, just due to this fluid drape that it has. So jacquard just means, again, that the design is woven into the fabric. So the lighter dots you see on here, this one's pretty crinkly. It got all squished on its bolt and got crinkly. But anyway, a nice gray shirting, also good for skirts or dresses. This one's called Irrigated. It's a cotton lawn, which just means a very lightweight, almost gauzy cotton, except it's tightly woven. So gauze is a little more loosely woven. This is pretty tightly woven, and it's just light and floaty and a little bit more fluid than a lot of cottons due to just being very, very lightweight. So a nice little pinstripe in this one. Good for things like blouses, really. Possibly a dress, a sundress. You might need to line it just because this is very thin. You know, if you want to be more modest. This is our most interesting print of this entire collection. It's kind of a medieval looking print. So you've got someone playing the lyre, and I can't tell if they're freeing a bird, like letting it go, or if they're fleeing from the foxes. It's hard to tell. Anyway, it's not quite a toile, but sort of. It's got there's a little story happening in this one. It's called Life in Harmony. So maybe they're not fleeing the foxes. Maybe they're just freeing the birds. Anyway, this is a cotton twill. So good for dresses, skirts. You could do a blouse or a top. You could do home deck. It's a very versatile fabric. You could also put it in a quilt. It is a little fluid, a little more fluid than quilting cotton. This is a slightly more chunky cotton called At the Market. This is slightly heavier than quilting cotton. This one really would make a great dress or some really cute wide leg pants. So cute. It's just a nice sturdy. This one just feels sturdy. Good cotton. I would use it in quilting, but I like sturdy quilts. This one's called Grackle, which are those little birds that look like crows, but they're smaller. They're just as annoying and obnoxious and loud as crows, but they're little. I like grackles. Anyway, it's a stretch twill, so it's kind of like a stretch denim, basically, except it's just solid navy. So probably trousers or like more fitted, like a jean skirt or shorts. Those kinds of things would be good out of this one. And it's a nice medium weight. Okay, last up. We have some wool because it's time to sort of start thinking about fall. So this first one is a wool crepe. It's called Barter Buster. This wool crepe, good for making suits. It would work as a suiting. It would also make a really nice wool dress or skirt. Again, like trousers, but wide leg trousers or like secret pants where it looks like a dress. Super comfortable and warm clothing can be made from wool. But because it's kind of fluid and breezy, you can also get sort of transitional season, like fall stuff out of it, because it will breathe. You're not going to get super sweaty in wool. I mean, you can, but it does breathe way better than any of the synthetics. This one's called Wrought Iron, and it is a lighter weight wool suiting. Very light. And look at that fluid drape. This one and the previous one, they're not super itchy. If you have sensitive skin, you still might want to line them, but these are quite nice. This one, skirts and dresses. And if you're doing historical costuming, this would be excellent for something like a walking skirt. Look at this drape. Fantastic. Lovely. That one's wrought iron. This is called Prairie Chicken, and it is a Pendleton wool. So we're going to be fancy. You will be fancy. It's a blend. Look at this. It's not itchy. It's actually kind of a purple, deep purple color that almost looks navy. And it's got not quite a herringbone weave. Yeah, I guess it is a herringbone weave. I just really like it. Again, wide leg trousers would probably be your best thing out of this, or maybe a skirt. There's not a ton here, but I just really like this one because it is a nice soft blend and has this amazing drape to it. So that lovely Pendleton fabric is our final fabric of this collection. Happy sewing!